Hey guys, it's 1 a.m., one of my rambles, and I was looking through my comic collection, just thinking about what I was reading tomorrow, and I found my copy of Just Imagine Stan Lee creating the DC Universe. I only have one, and it's the Crisis story. I'm sure some of you remember the video I did about this, and it actually made me start thinking about, well, what everyone knows happened today probably by now, the death of Stan Lee. I've been thinking about it a lot today, I don't know, and I figure now, when I can't sleep, is the perfect time to just get it out there. Stan Lee was, to a lot of people, a hero. A legend, really, even. And I'd say that not doubly, but especially for me. I've called Stan Lee a lot of things when discussing him. I've called him a legend, a thief. I've called him a genius and a glory hound. And throughout all of that, the one thing I can never say is that I was not talking about Stan Lee. Throughout all of reading, throughout everything I've done in comic books, Stan Lee has been there. And it's insane to think that he's gone. And I know Jack Kirby's dead. Earlier this year we lost Ditko. But with everyone going, the one person we thought would be, or at the very least I thought would be, immortal was Stan Lee. And that was, everyone knew that wasn't true, that wasn't the case, that was ridiculous, but here we are, everyone's still shocked. I remember earlier this year, I read an article saying that Stan Lee had to cancel a tour because of, well, not a tour, he had to cancel a convention because of his health deteriorating. And I got a little bit scared at first, and I thought, no, Stan Lee, he's got another 20, 30 years on him. Duh. And that wasn't, everyone knew it was coming eventually. The man was 95, he lived a long life, he lived a good life. His wife, I think it was Joan Lee, died, I think, in 2016. It was just a few years ago, but everyone who knew him said it hit him hard. And it's just insane to think that he's joined the ranks of so many geniuses that are gone. I know that I didn't know him personally. I know that I never met him. I know that I never saw him. But I was talking to a friend who didn't really read comics. He just knows about them from me and a few other friends that are in the same circle. I said, you know, it's weird. I know I've never met the guy. I know I've never seen him. I know I never will. But it just feels kind of personal. It feels like you're missing something now that he's gone. And I don't know if that's just me, or if that's everyone. Which is why I'm making this video, really. I think a lot of people are thinking about it right now. I think a lot of people will continue to think about it. And I think a lot of people should continue. Because Stan Lee has been a lot of things throughout his life. He has been a thief. But he's also been a genius. The man wasn't perfect. He wasn't a deity. But God knows he was a genius. He created things that I will continue to love until I'm 95 or 85 or whenever the hell I fucking croak. Because he had the foresight to do that. He had the genius. He had the talent. Him and all of his partners, Kirby, Ditko, even his brother, they all just worked and created some of the greatest characters in the universe. And I'm glad that I was at the very least a part of the tail end of that. I can say for 16 years of my life, Stan Lee, I knew, was alive, was kicking, and I knew of him, I knew about him, and I knew him. I knew him in a way that only I will know him. Because that's the experiences I've had looking at and watching Stan Lee. Stan Lee is the reason that the comics industry is as big as it is today. I know it's not just him, but it is 100% him that got it to be the way it is. My boyfriend told me about his death. He sent me a picture with someone who I know talking about it, and she's not very... She's one of those... You know, it's not important. Because I didn't give a shit. All I saw was the death of Stan Lee. And that hit me. And I just sat thinking about it for a few minutes. And like I said, I've been thinking about it the rest of the day, really, on and off. I've been watching all these in memoriam videos. I've been just thinking about it so long that I couldn't help but make this video. Stan Lee was a genius. Stan Lee was a hero. And he was a legend. The first thing that I saw when I looked up Stan Lee's name online was a little article, a little tiny script on Google. And it was his definition of Excelsior. I can't remember what it is, but I think I'm going to post it in the publication and stuff down at the bottom. Because that was the definition of that man. Single word. Excelsior. And I hope, whatever happens, I hope Excelsior is never lost in the definition. I hope his definition is never lost in the grand scheme of comic books. That's everything. Bye.